Friends, welcome to part 1 of our video presentation on Chapter 9. This will be a short introduction into the subject matter that Chapter 9 is covering, which is methodologies for custom software development. First of all, I'll give you some background about this problem area. Then I'll give you an overview of the broad topics that we will cover as a part of Chapter 9. And then I'll give you an introduction to what I think is the main subject matter of Chapter 9, which is systems development lifecycle model methodology. So a few background statements about custom software development. Custom software development, meaning a situation when an organization develops a custom information system, meaning a unique information system that can uniquely address some of the company-specific problems. Now, this situation is increasingly becoming rare. The reason for that is that large firms increasingly purchase software packages for their needs. In fact, they prefer to purchase ready-made software packages to address their needs because it's much cheaper and easier to do it this way. It's easier because they don't have to do any development on their side. They don't have to deal with bugs. They don't have to make the mistakes that the software company that is selling a particular package made in the past. So it's just easier and cheaper that way. But nevertheless, custom development of software or development of custom software is still highly important. And also, I would like to add from myself is that you can apply the ideas that we cover in this chapter not only to custom software development, but also to software customizations, because for a lot of organizations, customizing a ready-made software package is a big project on its own. Also, custom software methodologies are used by software vendors, meaning software companies who develop products for many different buyers, who customize software applications, who develop different versions of the software applications. So, all in all, custom software development is still a big problem area for a lot of organizations. What we will cover in this chapter, first of all, we will talk about the traditional system development lifecycle methodology, or SDLC. So this is, I wouldn't even call it like a methodology, I would call it like a philosophy or an approach to developing information systems that has been around for quite some time. And still a lot of organizations subscribe to this philosophy, subscribe to this methodology, even now. And in fact, I would say majority of organizations, especially large, well-established organizations, they follow this methodology, they follow this philosophy. And then after we cover system development lifecycle methodology, we'll talk about some of the alternatives or some new age philosophies and methodologies in relation to custom software development or information system development. We'll talk about prototyping. We will also talk about rapid application development, or RAD, and then agile development. I would say like all three areas have a lot of overlap. I mean, I would classify them into the agile family. So, or maybe an older term for that would be like prototyping. So all three can be classified either as prototyping methodologies or agile methodologies, in my opinion. So this is what we're going to cover in Chapter 9. Now, a few words about systems development lifecycle model methodology, SDLC. I would like to say that this methodology is very important, or this framework is very important. In fact, there are many people out there who believe that SDLC defines the field of information systems or management information systems. They would say that this is something that is central to the entire field. By field I mean an academic field and also a field of practice. So a lot of people believe that SDLC basically defines what CIS or IS or MIS is all about. So what is SDLC? Well, it's a highly structured process for developing customized applications. Another term for that is Waterfall Model, or Waterfall philosophy, or Waterfall approach. Now, the reason it's called Waterfall is that it's related to this keyword structure. The idea here is that there is a belief expressed by SDLC that information system development or custom software development can be a very organized, very structured, very formal process. So you start with definition phase, and then whatever you come up with this phase flows into the next phase, which is construction. And that's why it's called waterfall, because work flows from one step to the other one. So it looks like water flowing. So the idea here is that once you define your requirements mostly, then you go into the construction phase, and then whatever you come up during the construction phase will be implemented. So that's why it's a highly structured process. There is a definite recipe or definite set of steps how to go from nothing to an implemented information system. The other reason as to why a lot of companies, especially big organizations, and especially I would say government organizations, they like this type of approach, this type of philosophy, because it requires a lot of documentation, formal reviews at the end of each major step. Compliance or reporting and compliance is a big deal for large organizations, especially government organizations, because they're accountable to the public in the case of government organizations. In the case of large private organizations like corporations, they're accountable to their shareholders. They undergo audit, so that's why they like that it's a very highly structured process that has to be documented. And that's the idea. Output from one step is used as an input to the next step, and that's why it's called the waterfall model. So once again, I would like to say that this is an extremely important concept. A lot of people believe that this concept defines the field of information systems or management information systems. So I would say this framework is central, to this chapter, as well. So we're going to spend most of the time talking about this framework. But that was a brief introduction into the problem area of custom software development, and a brief introduction into the systems development lifecycle model. In subsequent parts, we'll talk about those phases in a bit more details. So that concludes part 1 of our video presentation. Thank you for listening.